Mamta Vanzare from AISSM's Institute of Technology. Today I am going to introduce shortest job first, that is SPN, shortest process next. Shortest job first, that comes under two types, non-preemptive mode and preemptive mode. Preemptive mode, that is also called shortest remaining time first. So shortest job first or the SJF scheduling, that associated with each process the length of its next CPU burst, that use these lengths to schedule the process with the shortest time. Two schemes are there, non-preemptive and preemptive type. Non-preemptive, that one CPU gives to the process, it cannot be preempted until completes its CPU burst. Preemptive time, if a new process arrives with CPU burst length less than remaining time of current execution process, that is a preempt. This scheme is known as the shortest remaining time first, that is SRTF. SJF is optimal, that gives minimum average waiting time for a given set of processes. So this is non-preemptive policy in which the process with the shortest expected processing time is selected next. Thus, a short process will jump to the head of the queue. This type of policy needs to know or at least estimate the required processing time of each process. Selection function is minimal total servicing time required by the process, that including time spent in execution so far. Decision mode is a non-preemptive type. Throughput is high. Response time, that provides good response time for shortest process. Overhead can be high. Effect on processes, that is penalize long processes. Let us see the example of non-preemptive SJF. Using SJF scheduling, find finish time, turnaround time, waiting time, average waiting time, and average turnaround time of these processes. Here, three processes are mentioned. Its burst time is also given. P1, P2, P3. Three processes are there. Its burst time is 20, P2 having 3 and P3 having 4. So whenever you start any numerical, always remember use sum or add burst time, that is 20 plus 3 plus 4, that is 27. So whenever you go for draw the Gantt chart, the finish time that comes 27. So step 1 is a Gantt chart. Shortest job first. Here shortest job is P2 because its burst time is 3. So P2 arrives first, then P3, and then last one is P1. So second step is calculate average turnaround time and average waiting time. So turnaround time, that is equal to finish time minus arrival time, and waiting time, that is equal to turnaround time minus burst or CPU time is there. So processes, three processes are there. Burst time is also given in numerical. Whenever arrival time is not given, you assume arrival time is 0. Then from Gantt chart, calculate starting time and finish time, that is 7:03. Finish time is 27, 3 and 7. And from that calculate turnaround time, that is finish time minus arrival time. So 27 minus 0. Whenever arrival time is not mentioned, then turnaround time is equal to finish time. So 27:37 is there, and from that you have to calculate average turnaround time, that comes 12.33. Waiting time, that is turnaround time minus burst time is there. So 27 minus 20, that comes 7. For second process that comes 0, and third process that comes 3. So average waiting time, that is equal to 3.33. So example is very easy. That's all. Thank you.